Welcome to the IT Project Management presentation of Group 3. My name is Lion Eli and I'll be making the presentation for this video. So the project is entitled The Problem of Social Media Addiction, meaning the problem that we choose to identify is social media addiction. So we'll be going into the problem and identifying the causes and also state the root cause of social media addiction. At the end of the presentation, we'll have a diagram which will elaborate on our points. So without further ado, we'll get into the presentation. All right, so the question must be asked what social media addiction is. So what is social media addiction? With our understanding of social media addiction, it is anyone who spends an unreasonable amount of screen time behind a social media site, which is spending more than 7 to 8 hours in a day just exploring social media sites. And we have stated several reasons which would lead to social media addiction, which we have bulleted down there. So as you can see, there are a lot of them, and we'll be going through them one after the other. So we stated that validation is one reason. Validation in this context means that people want to seek approval from other people, whether they are strangers or their colleagues. So validation means getting that kind of feel-good vibe from your friends online. So this is related closely to peer pressure, which is you having a lot of your colleagues and friends already using social media sites, which encourages you to get online and also engage with them there. And one other cause of social media addiction that we have identified is notifications, which is more technological. So we have these social media sites giving you a lot of emails and a lot of dings and buzzes from your phone, which gives you that edge to always check up and go back online and see what's happening there. So another reason that we stated is anxiety issues. That means people are always on edge. They have mental problems that is not helped by going online. So they always want to feel better by using social media as sort of a cure, which we don't think it helps. So one reason which needs to be very much explained is the modern working environment. So this is more of an organizational problem where the structure of organizations encourages the use of social media. And we'll be exploring this into detail soon. Other reasons are stated here, which are similar to the previous ones: loneliness, seeking likes on sites like Facebook, and then trends, following trends on sites like TikTok and Twitter. So these are not all the symptoms that exist in the world. These are just a handful of a much larger problem. So we'll be going there right now. So as you can see, we have broken down the symptoms into several factors, which is to say that there may be more, but we have decided that these are the main factors that lead to social media addiction. So for every factor, we'll have more and more symptoms beneath them, but for the sake of brevity, we have included only a few. So one thing that we must make clear is that social factors and community factors are not the same thing. As I've stated already in the previous slide, I made mention of organizational factors or the organization pushing you to become addicted to social media. So what we mean here is that social factors relate to the individual and their immediate surrounding, as in their friends, family, and colleagues and partners, but community is more or less the organization itself, as in the school and the working environment. So I'll be explaining very soon. So starting from the top, we said that we've already made mention of peer pressure and pressure from social media sites, and also the fear of missing out, which is very interlinked with the other symptoms that we've mentioned already. So when you have people always seeing their friends online, they are naturally going to also go online and check what's happening. The one inevitable social media site that we are all using right now is WhatsApp, because everyone is on WhatsApp. You can't say that you're going to be sending a message through call when everyone is texting and everyone is getting things done quickly. You always go back and use the preferred option for your friends, because no one wants to be the only one who doesn't have WhatsApp, essentially. So we think that the mental factors here are a result of the social and community factors, meaning that the more time you spend on social media, the more likely you are to become anxious or to have anxiety problems, to develop loneliness, and to build stress. So sites like Instagram have been known for a while now that they cause a lot of anxiety issues and loneliness, because people have this skewed belief that the lives of people online are always better than theirs. While this is a symptom of social media addiction, it is also a cause of social media addiction, because it's a feedback loop. The more lonely you feel, the more prone you are to look outside and see people's life behind the screen and yearn for that life. Even though it's causing you more harm than good, you still want to go back to it. So now coming back to the community factors, the reason why we stated community factors is that these school and working environments do encourage the use of social media. For example, when you have a school giving you an assignment at the university level, you have group works that you have to be doing. And every group, stated fact by fact, every group spends more time online than they do offline. It's easier to get work done when you have group members meeting in a WhatsApp group to communicate, rather than traveling where you might have to meet at a spot where people will not be there on time. It doesn't help. So productivity is boosted when you have these social media sites at your aid. And the school environment uses social media sites. So for example, we have Trello, which is for project management and software engineering, where you have members coming together to work on Kanban boards. These sites will be sending you constant emails to notify you when there's a new activity. So get back online and engage with your friends. All right, so the working environment is very similar in that way. And we have stated these as our main factors, but there's still a further issue that we have to explore. So the core problem, as we haven't stated right now, is technological in nature, which means that all these other factors are caused by a main factor or a main problem, which is the exploitative algorithms used by social media companies. So we have these CEOs of the big tech companies, such as Meta and Twitter, or let's all the others, Reddit, YouTube, for example. All of them have a common interest, which is to make as much money as possible. And the way they can make as much money as possible is through the use of what we call engagement and data. So the more time we spend online, the more of our data they get to sell, and the more advertisements they can pump in our faces. So to get as much engagement as they can, they have to use algorithms that understand us as individuals and give us what we want to see. So they give us these echo chambers where we hear what we want to hear and where we do what we want to do and get the validation that we want or we seek. And we always come back for more, which leads to the issues we have stated previously. So we have, for example, TikTok giving you a lot of videos that you can spend as many hours as you want watching, and it's always going to be showing you the next best thing, which will keep you there for a longer time. All right, so that's what we have stated as our core problem, which is the exploitative algorithms used by social media companies. So the diagram here is a pyramid where the lowest tier, the bottom, is exploitative algorithms, which is the problem that leads to several problems in the society, mentally, and in organizations. So you might be asking, so we have stated that these working environments and school environments boost productivity because it helps when you are working online. But you have to also look at the other side where, because you are so hooked to the system, you are also getting more and more anxious. You're getting more and more stressed out because they don't have your best interest in mind. You might be using them for your own benefit, but at the end of the day, they are the ones in control and they are going to keep you there for longer than you actually need. And while yes, productivity may improve when you work online, I think the argument for working in person is that it builds rapport where you get to know your group members other than just another icon on your screen. You get to actually understand your friends and build relationships better. So it's an argument you can argue for or against the community factors, but in our opinion, it is a problem where even though we might not see the immediate effects, it does lead to several issues further down the line. So this will be the end of our presentation. We have exploitative algorithms as our core problems, and then social and mental and community problems come, which lead to a lot of symptoms that we cannot state all at once, but we have given you a sample here, which is loneliness, anxiety, peer pressure, and FOMO, fear of missing out. So this will be the end of our presentation for group 3. I hope you enjoyed it, and we'll end it right here.